Hello friends, welcome back to automationtestinginsider.com. So in this video I'll show you how to work with checkbox and radio button in Selenium WebDriver. So if you remember, already I have created a video. So this is that video, Selenium WebDriver part 10, where we have discussed like what are the different basic and advanced web elements on a web page. So these are the different web elements on a web page. So from today onwards I'll show you how to work with them. So today I picked radio button and checkbox in Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so initially I'll show you how to work with basic checkbox and radio button, and later on we'll discuss like how dynamically we can create our test cases and how dynamically we can work with checkbox and radio buttons. Okay, and if you navigate to my blog, that is automationtestinginsider.com, and just click on these demo websites. So this is the first link, student registration forms. Just click on that. So this is basic student registration form where we have different fields like first name, last name, date of birth, email ID, mobile number, and here we have gender. So these are the two radio buttons. We have male and female. So at a time we can select either male or female. So this is the behavior, or you can say property of radio button. At a time only we can select one value. And here we have hobbies. So this is another field, and which has different values like drawing, singing, dancing, sketching, and others. So we can select either one value or different values at a time. Okay, or all the values at a time. So this is the basic difference between checkbox and radio button. And if you inspect this web element, this radio button, so here you can see this is inside input tag, and here we have name as gender, type as radio, and value as male. If you talk about this, the second radio button, we have name as same as the previous one, type as radio. So this will tell you this is radio button, type as radio. Okay, and this has value is female. Okay, so value is different here, value as male, here female. Okay, similarly for checkboxes we have this is also inside input tag. We have name, hobby, type, checkbox. So here type as checkbox. Okay, for radio button we have type as radio and value as drawing. For the second, for another checkbox we have name as same as the first previous one, type as checkbox, value as singing. So the value are changing, okay, according to the behavior of the particular field, particular radio, checkbox. Now let's create a Java project. So already I have opened my Eclipse, so let me just create one Java project. So here I'll give name as, I think this already is practice. And inside src folder, let me just create one package, new package, and inside this package I'll create one class, checkbox radio demo. I'll select public static void main. So as you already know that whenever we create new project, then we have to import the Selenium Java jar files. So just right click on this project, and here we have build path. So configure build path. So this is libraries tab. So just click on add external jars. Inside libs folder we have different jar files, so just select all of them. Again click on add external jars. Outside of the lib folders, whatever jar files are there, we have to select them as well. Click on apply and close. And here I'll create a method, public void launch, to launch the browser and navigate to URL. So simply I'll copy few lines of code, these 4 lines of code, to launch the browser and navigate to particular URL. So I declared this WebDriver at class level. I'll make it public. Let's navigate to that URL driver.git, and what is the URL of that used in registration form? This is the URL. Simply I'll put it over here. So this is the URL. Okay. Now I'll create another method, public void, let's say demo only. Now let me just inspect that particular element. Suppose I want to select this radio button mail. So let me just inspect it. So here we have so control F, and let's write XPath for this. So select all the input elements. So we have 66, and then we have type as radio. So how many radio buttons are there? So 6 radio buttons are there, so male and female, and then at last we have courses applied for. Okay, so we should get only one value, right? So I'll put AND operator over here, and at the rate I'll select value as, let's say, male. Okay, so here you can see 1 of 1. So this is perfect XPath. Now let's perform operation driver dot find element y dot XPath. This is my XPath. Let's store this in a web element. Okay, radio button, let's give variable name as radio button. We have to import this web element from org.openq.selenium. Okay, I'm storing in a web element. Okay, and so how to perform the operation? So simple. If you see manually what we can do, we are just selecting this particular. Okay, so this is click operation. So in the Selenium web script also we have to just perform click operations. So this radio button dot click. Okay, so this is done. Now let's create another method. Close the browser. Close browser. Okay, and here driver dot close. We are closing the browser at the end, and let's create the object of this class, and we'll call all the functions, all the methods one by one. Obj new. So this is the way to create the object. Obj dot first launch the browser, second one is obj dot demo, and third one is close the browser. And let's give, after launching the browser, let's give some sleep over here, some wait. Let's say 2 seconds of waits. So we have to give this, we have to add this throws declaration, and same here as well while calling the method. Okay, now everything is ready. So let me just run this program, this is script. Okay, so browser is launched, maximized, navigate into that URL, and after some times, a couple of seconds, it will select that mail. Oh, it is not selected. Or after selecting that value, let's wait, let's put some wait over here as well. so that we can easily see that. Okay, because since it's very fast, so we have to wait here as well. So let me just run it again. Navigating to URL. After a couple of seconds, it will select that mail drop down radio button and closing the browser. Okay, then how to verify that that particular element is selected? Okay, so we have already seen WebDriver commands is selected. So let me just give that command. So we have system.out.println mail radio button is selected. Okay, this is how we can give. And here we have is selected method, right? So using this is selected method we can get true or false value. So let's run it again. The mail is selected. Now it will close the browser. So you can see this is the message, mail radio button is selected, and it is true. Okay, so this is very simple. And now let's create another uh, method, public void checkbox. Now we can work with checkboxes. Okay, so these also in the same way we can do that. So suppose I want to select this particular checkbox, right? So simply inspect this. So instead of mail we can put drawing, and instead of radio button we should use checkbox. So you can see this XPath is working, and simply I'll put here, let's change the name of this as radio button demo. And while calling the method also we have to give like this, checkbox demo method. Okay, driver dot find element y dot xpath. What is the xpath? Sorry, this is the xpath we have written for checkbox. And just store in web element. Now use this variable and perform click operation, and let's put wait here as well. Now let's call this method obj dot checkbox demo. Simply run this program. It's mainly selected. What happened? oh sorry, we have to close this browser at the end. I've called that before checkbox demo method. Okay, so we have to close the browser at the end. It should work. So this is basic scenario, and I'll show you how to work with checkbox and ready dynamically. So mail is selected, and then drawing is selected, and then browser is closed. Okay, now I'll show you how we can work dynamically. So let me just comment these two lines, these 3 lines of code, and suppose if you can see this radio button, sorry, checkboxes, we have a name as hobby and type as checkbox. Okay, so let me just let's give name as hobby. Okay, now here we have 5 radio buttons, sorry, checkboxes. Okay, so let me just copy this X path and driver dot find elements. So this time we have to take find elements, right? Find elements by dot X path. So our criteria is we want to pick all the checkboxes and we have to click any one of them. So suppose we are providing values, input values like drawing, so it should select this one only. So in this case, take an example like we are not able to distinguish particular checkbox, right? We have name as hobby and type as checkbox. So okay, so just write one X path and store this in a list of web elements. And okay, and we have to import this from java.util. Now we got all the list of web elements. Okay, all the list of checkboxes, and here we'll put one for loop and I is equal to 0, I less than size of the list, less than the size of the list. We have size function and I plus plus. Using this for loop will iterate all the list items and will select particular checkbox. Okay, so how to get the particular uh, item, right? So we have get method. So using index we can get the first, you can get the particular item. So we can store this in web element and I'll give like element, and this should be I. Web element. Okay, store in all the attributes of this particular web element. Okay, so how to get that attributes of all the elements? So here we have get attribute, and from value we can get all the attributes. Okay, and string, store in a string variable, or you can give like value of checkbox. checkbox value. Okay, or simply you can give hobbies. Now let's print all the values first. Okay, so simply all the values are, and simply I'll put all the hobbies over here. Now let's run this. Okay, I want to print all the checkboxes values first of all. Okay, so let's run this program. So you can see drawing, singing, dancing, sketching, and others. Instead of giving this message, simply let's print this. Okay, like this. Now I want to select a particular item. Suppose I'll give this value drawing, and I want to select this one, or let's say dancing. So how to select that particular? So we can put if hobbies contains like dancing. Okay, and then this element dot click, and here I'll put break to break the loop. So if you find my hobbies which is equal to dancing, then it should break the loop. So let's comment this line, this is not required. Now let me run it. It should check this particular checkbox, the dancing one. Okay, this dancing one. So let me run it, and let's put some weight as well. After checking that, let's put thread dot slip 2 seconds of wait. Now let's run this class. First mail will be selected, ready button, yes, and then here you can see dancing is selected. Let's not close so I can show you. That dancing is selected. First mail is selected, and later on you can see dancing is selected. So this is how we can work with drop down and checkbox dynamically. You can create your test cases dynamically. And another thing is, suppose you want to uh, pass this value as input, this dancing. Okay, so let's simply type hobbies, and from here you have to give that string value. So let's say you want to select this sketching, simply in double quotes you provide this sketching. So this is very robust test case, very dynamic. So let me just run this. First select the mail drop down radio button, and later on you can see it selects this radio, sorry, this is sketching. Suppose you want to give others value as others from here, others, so others will be selected. Rerun it again. So here you can see others is selected. So this is how you can work with radio button and checkbox. And let me just recap. So here we have created one class checkbox radio radio demo, and this is to launch the browser and navigate to particular URL. And here I have created another method, radio button demo, so to select the radio button, and this is to checkbox demo. So initially we have seen how to select particular checkbox, okay, particular checkbox, and later on if we provide user input, then how to select particular checkbox. And we are calling all the methods from main method. Okay, so this is all about today, and in the next video I'll talk about how to handle drop down. So guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Please subscribe this channel and click on bell icon to get the notification for upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.